Hi everyone, today we are doing another dog sweater tutorial. It's my zigzag pattern or cross pattern, and we'll be doing that in just a moment. So hi everyone, we're doing another dog sweater tutorial, and I call it my cross pattern tutorial or zigzag tutorial. We're going to start by chaining 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. So we've got 40 chains here. We're going to go back into our very first stitch and do a slip stitch to join the round. Then we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to do 40 stitches around. And by the way, I'm using a size 5 crochet hook. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in each chain around. Okay. So now you're probably wondering where I came up with this. Well, for this particular pattern, I made a baby sweater years and years and years ago. Like, I'm talking maybe 20 years ago. And I just love the stitch. And since then, I have used this stitch in dog sweaters, in blankets. I've taught it to other people to use in blankets. My mother-in-law has used it in blankets. It's just a very simple stitch that works up so nicely, and it's just using single crochets and double crochets. So the yarn I'm using today is a worsted weight yarn. It's just the big balls you can get from Walmart. That tends to be my go-to for dog sweaters. So we're doing single crochets in all of these stitches all the way around, and we're gonna end off with a slip stitch. Yeah. So I did this on a baby sweater. It was a baby cardigan, and it had a very nice pattern. I never made it more than once though, because I find with a lot of baby clothes they have so many pieces, and I prefer working in just one piece. So I have found some baby sweaters and dresses that you can just do in one piece, and I love those patterns. But this pattern I had made, it was like you had to do buttonholes separately, and you had to do the collar separately, and you had to do the sleeves separately, and you had to do the 2 side panels separately and the back separately, and I just wasn't into it when it came to the end. Okay, so speaking of end, we're coming to the end of this. So, oops. Here we go. So now this is where I chained up one. So this is my last stitch, chained up one. So I'm going to go into the beginning of the next stitch. Now I'm going to chain 2. Now some people, when they do double crochet, they chain 3. Some people chain 2. I'm doing 2. So if you want to chain 3, it really doesn't matter. Do whatever floats your boat. Okay, so we are skipping that first stitch, okay? That very first stitch right here, which would be the one you would want to go into, we're skipping that. We're going into the second stitch. So we're doing a double crochet. So yarn over into the second stitch, through 2, yarn over, and now that stitch that we skipped, we're going back 4. Through 2, and we're just going to do that all the way across. So you skip the next one, go into the second one, then you go back, and there you go. So see how we're getting this? See, it's kind of got holes. Maybe this is a bit dark, but you're getting a cross there. Right there, there's a cross. Okay. So you do the same thing. Skip the next stitch, go in, go through 2, go back to the stitch you skipped, and we're going to do this all the way around. Okay. And then back. And see how we're getting such a nice little pattern? Can you see it close up? Closer. It's quite a cute pattern. Okay. So, skip the next stitch, go into that second stitch, do a double crochet, go back in for that stitch that you skipped, and do a double crochet. And do that all the way across. Skip one, double crochet, go back, double crochet, and do this all the way around. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so I'm at my last 2 stitches here. See? So I'm gonna skip the first one, go in the next one, and then go back for the one we skipped. Okay. So that, whoops, what did I do there? No, that was right. Skip one, go back into the one you skipped. And now we are going to slip stitch to the top of your chain. So whether you chain 2 or you chain 3, whatever. Now we're chaining 1, and we're getting ready to repeat the pattern. But before we do that, let's just count our stitches and make sure that we did 40. So this is easy because each cross will be 2 stitches, right? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. We've got exactly 40 stitches. Woohoo, we did it right. Now, to start the pattern again, we are going to single crochet all the way around, and then we're going to do the next row, chain up 3, and we will do our cross stitch again with the double crochets. So we're just doing single crochets in every stitch. Okay, single crochets in every stitch. And then we're going to join with the slip stitch at the end of our circle. Then we're going to chain up 2 or 3, whichever you prefer. and then we're going to start on our double crochets. And we'll skip the first double crochet and we will go back for that second double crochet. Okay, and we're going to do that pattern for a total of 12 rows, or a total of 6 of the pattern. So the single crochet row and the double crochet being 1. Or you can count it row by row, which would be 12 rows. And we're going to meet back once we're done that. And then I'll show you how to make the spaces for their little legs to go through. And how to do the back. All of it staying within pattern, okay? So I'm almost to the end of this row. So I may as well just finish off quick like a bunny. And I'll show you how to go to the double crochet row just to make sure that you've got that down pat, okay? So single crochet all the way around. This is row 1 of the 2 pattern rows. Okay, so we're back here. Now we're going to slip stitch into there, chain up 2, and then we're not going to work in this stitch that we slip stitched into, okay? So then we're going to skip 1, double crochet, go back for the double crochet we missed, or sorry, go back for the stitch we missed, and we're just going to do that all the way around. Skip 1, double crochet, go back, double crochet. And you see how our pattern is turning out? Isn't that cute? Okay, and we're going to do that all the way around, and we're going to do that, like I said, for a total of 12 rows, or 6 of the 2 pattern rows. So you should have 6 single crochet rows, and you should have 6 of the double crochet rows. And I'll meet back when that is done. Okay? That's how it looks so far. Okay, be back in a minute. Okay, so I've done this part, and I'm at where we connect to the chain. Okay. Here we are. We're doing a slip stitch to connect. Now you'll see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rows, or you can see it as 1 pattern row, 2 pattern, 3 pattern, 4 pattern, 5 pattern, 6 pattern. So now, staying in pattern, we're going to start shaping the dog sweater, okay? So we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to do 20 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, now because we're staying in pattern, we're going to chain up 2, or 3, whichever you've been doing this whole time. We're gonna skip that first stitch, go into the next, and then go back and do that other stitch, and these are double crochets, okay? So we're going to do that all the way to the end of our row. And that should be 10 little crosses. Okay. So that's 3 crosses. 4 crosses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crosses. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Okay. Oh, 10. Right? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Nope. We need one more. We need it to equal 20 stitches, right? I must have lost track. Let's see. So we had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, 20 stitches. So there we go. Now we're going to chain 1. And we're going to go back single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We're going to chain 2 or 3, whichever you did. Then we're going to skip that first one and we're going to go into this one. And my house is a noisy house. I don't know if you guys can hear all that background noise, but my son was yelling and now he's vacuuming and crazy. Oh well. It's not crazy that he's doing his chores. That's what he's supposed to do. So I'm not worried about that. So and we'll do this for one more pattern set. So after this I'll do a single crochet row and then a double crochet row, and then we'll go on to the next step. So I'm probably just going to do these on camera because that's what I do. Okay, and then into that one, this one, and now we'll do this one more time. So chain 1, single crochet all across the row, and then we're going to double crochet back. And then we'll be able to do the next part. And notice I'm staying in pattern. The next part will be a bit trickier because I will be staying in pattern while I'm decreasing, because the next part we have to decrease for the legs. But that's okay. That's no big deal. So single crochet all the way to the end of this row, and then we're going to chain up 2 or 3, whatever you did. Skip the first one, go back for it, and these are double crochets. Okay. So I'm going to pause here and I'll come back in just a moment. Okay, I'm back. I'm doing the last cross here. Okay. So you'll see here we've got a single crochet, a double crochet, single, double for 6 rows total, or 3 pattern rows. Okay. Now I'm going to cut my yarn, and I'm not going to pull this really tight because I'm going to pick it out later. Now we have to connect our yarn to this side, okay, to the side that we didn't work. So I'm just going to connect it and chain up 1. Okay. And now I'm going to count out 20 single crochets here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Whoops. 20. Okay. Now I'm going to chain up 2. Now we have to decrease. So we are going to, okay, we are not going to skip that first one. So we're going to go in there, go in there. We're going to pull our yarn through 4, and then we'll pull our yarn through 2. Okay, so did you see what I did there? Let's do that again. So I chained up 2 or 3, whichever you've been doing, okay? I went into the first one as if I was going to do a double crochet. I go into the second one as if I'm going to do a double crochet, but I don't finish them. Then I'm going through 4 loops. And then I'm going through 2 loops to make that 1 stitch. So I made 2 stitches into 1. Then I'm going to skip that first stitch, go to the next stitch, and we're making our first cross, okay? So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we're at 7. Now we want this row to end off with 18 stitches. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, now here we're going to do like we did at the front. We're going to go into the very next stitch as if we're going to do a double crochet, but we're not going to complete it. Then we're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull our yarn up. We're going to go through 4 loops, which leaves us with 2, and that will make our 18th stitch. Now we're going to chain up 1, and now we're going to decrease again, okay? So we would get our yarn like we're going to do a single crochet, go into the next one, get our yarn like we're doing another single crochet, go through all of those, okay? Did you see that? Let's do it again. So I've chained up 1. I go into that first stitch, grab my yarn like I'm going to do a single crochet, but I don't finish it. Go into my second one, grab yarn like I'm going to do a single crochet. Now I go through all 3 loops on my hook to make that a single crochet. So that's 1, and we're going to end up with 16 on this row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, now we're going to make our 16th stitch. So we're doing 2 and 1. So we go into the next stitch, pull our yarn. We're not finishing that stitch. We go into the next stitch, pull our yarn. Now we're pulling our yarn over and we're going through those 3 loops to make 1 stitch out of 2. We're going to chain up 2 or 3, whichever one you did, and we're going to decrease again. So we got 16 on that row. This row we're going to go down to 14. So we're going to yarn over as if we're doing a double crochet, go into the stitch, grab our yarn. We're not finishing that. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, and now we're going through 4 loops, and then we're going through those 2 to make 2 stitches into 1. Then we're going to skip that first one, go into the next one, and this is going to be our first cross. So this will be 3 stitches, and we're going to 14 this time. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so this is where we're decreasing again. Yarn over like you had a normal double crochet. You're going into the very next stitch. Pull your yarn through, yarn over as if you're going to do another double crochet. Next stitch, go through 4 loops on your hook, go through 2. That was our 14th stitch. Chain up 1, turn. See how we're staying in pattern? Don't know if you can see that very clearly, but we are staying in pattern. Okay, so now that was 14. We're going to go down to 12 with this row. So yarn in the very next stitch. Pull your yarn through, and again, pull your yarn through. We've turned 2 stitches into 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and now we're getting to that 12, right? So we go in the stitch, pull the yarn, do not complete this stitch, go into your next stitch, pull the yarn. We're turning that into 2, and that was our 12th stitch. Now we're chaining up 2 or 3, whichever you did. Okay, now we're going into that very first stitch. Okay, yarn over, into the stitch, yarn over. Do not complete that stitch. Yarn over, into the next stitch, yarn over, go through 4 loops, go through 2 loops. We have turned 2 double crochets into 1. So that's 1. Now we're going into pattern. Skip the first one, go into second one. That was 2. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, go back, 7, skip 1, 8, go back, 9. Okay, we're at our 10th stitch. So, yarn over, go into the very next stitch, yarn over, pull through. Do not complete that stitch. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull through. Now go through 4 loops, go through 2 loops. You are now even with the other side, and you've done your decreases for the legs. Can you see that? It's upside down, but here. So see how we've decreased and the back is still square? Okay, so now, without breaking your yarn, you're going to attach with a slip stitch into the chain of this one. Okay, to the chain on the back side. Okay, pull through with the slip stitch, up 1. Now we're going to turn it so that our outside is facing us, and we're going to single crochet. However, you see how we have our loose piece here and it's not attached? We're simply going to pick that out, because remember I said don't pull it tight, and we're going to do a slip stitch into this chain with that little piece of yarn that we had cut, right there. See, it's a little piece. We're just going to turn that into a slip stitch, pull it through, and now we're going to pull that into a nice tight knot, and we're just going to tuck that inside for right now. Okay, back to our working yarn. We're going to take this and we're going to single crochet all the way around, okay? So we should have 30 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we're going to pick up the 20 stitches from the back, right? So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Now we're going to attach that to the chain 1, right? We're going to chain up 2 or 3, whichever you prefer, and now we're going to do our crosses. Okay, so skip first one, go into the next one, and we're going to do crosses all the way around. Okay, so just skip one, do a double crochet in the next one, and we're going to do this all the way around. And to finish it off, we're going to do 1 row of single crochet. So after this. See, and this is like I was talking about in the beginning of the video, that I like making things that are all in one piece. So I have, when we're done this, we're going to have like 3 strings to hide, and that's it. That'll be it for sewing, and I just love those kind of projects. I hate doing extra sewing. I feel like the crocheting, the creativity of the sweater is enough. I don't then need to be sewing and sewing and sewing. So like I said, I don't have a pattern for this. I made this up. So this tutorial is the only place you'll find this. I mean, unless someone else somewhere decides to write it out and they can put it in the comments or whatever. But I just make this up as I go. All of my dog sweaters are basically just out of my head. I see something, I have the basic for my dog sweater. I usually go 40 stitches for an extra small, 70 if I'm doing a small, and bigger if I'm doing something bigger than that. I don't usually go bigger than small though, because then we're talking like the price of a real people sweater, and people don't want to pay that. At least, well, I don't, so. Okay. And we're getting to our last one, so we'll just, it's our last cross. So you slip stitch into your chain. Okay, and then we're just going to finish off with a single crochet around the top. Will that be enough? I wonder if that'll be enough. You know what? Maybe we'll do a double crochet. Yeah, maybe we'll do a double crochet. Or not a double crochet, a half double crochet. Okay. No, I think a single crochet will be fine. So, if you want a thicker neck, then I would recommend a half double crochet, or you could even do another sequencing of the pattern, like do another single crochet row and then another double crochet. It depends how long you want the neck to be. I think this will be fine with just a single crochet round. Now I'm going to put a link to my other dog sweater. I think another one I have on these videos is my cabled dog sweater. Again, I just kind of make it up as I go, so you'll see that there's similarities and some differences. So we'll get this to the end. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you want to get notifications of when I put up videos, which I have to admit is very sporadic, but I have a full-time job. I go to markets whenever I can, trying to build my own little business here for when I retire. And then there's life. So I make these videos when I possibly can. For example, this sweater, the only reason I'm making the video is because it's an order for someone. Yeah. So there we go. We went all the way around. We're cutting our yarn. We're pulling it tight. And we will hide those threads. So I have one thread at the neck. I have one thread inside from the arm. And then I have the thread from when we started out, right here. So there's 3 threads to hide with this. So here you go. This is the back. Isn't that cute? Okay. And then here is where their little legs go. I don't know if you can see that, but see, that's where their little legs would go. There and there. And then just hide the threads and you're done. And that is my cross-stitched dog sweater. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, subscribe, and share. Talk to you later. Bye now.